Have you ever wondered what it takes to scale a sales organization? So I'm here inside the Austin HQ for selfpublishing.com. This team right here generates about $500,000 a month in sales, but I'm not satisfied. And in fact, I'm not happy. So what am I doing today? I'm going out on the sales floor myself. I'm getting in the trenches. I'm putting my hard-earned money on the line. I challenge the team to a sales competition. It's time to level it up. So we've officially started hitting the phones. We're putting the money out here. This is what's on the line. So we've got whatever that is, 80 bucks, 100 bucks online for the person who connects with the most people. So this is you can see the scoreboard right here in front of me. This is the most dials, the most connections and sets. And then we've got $50 on the line for the person with the most dials. So we've got kind of this, our starting point back here, which is where we started. And then you'll see the scoreboard right here updating live as we speak. There we go. You can tell I'm not up on that scoreboard yet. That's gonna be changing real soon. In this video, you're gonna learn a few things. So number one, you're gonna see behind the scenes of what it looks like to have an in-person sales office. You're gonna see behind the scenes of a high-performance sales team doing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in sales. You're also gonna see why I'm doing this. So what are the lessons I'm looking to learn? You'll learn what I learned from this experience and also how you can install that to level up your sales team. And then lastly, you're gonna see, do I win? Do I lose? Do I look like an idiot in the process? Stay tuned. All right, I'm out here on the sales floor. The team has already started. We've got our call list. You can see around, we've got about 8 people here that I'm competing against. I just got my call list. So I've got 223 people that I have the opportunity to call over the next 3 hours. We've got some texts being sent out and we've got our resources. So what we like to do first and foremost with our team is we want to make sure that they have 3 things at their disposal from day one. So number one, conversation structure. This is gonna come really in handy for me today because I'm not used to doing these calls. So this is what I can say while I'm at the calls. Number two, this is a winning sales day. All right, we got sets already happening. Shout out to Shannon. And then number 3, this is my commission structure. So this is how I actually make money. All right, so those 3 things, I've got them here. So who am I calling? That's listed here. I've got the list. What do I say when they pick up? I cannot tell them that I'm the CEO. That is one little asterisk rule on this competition. So I've got all my stuff. I've got my call list. It's time to lock in, get my headphones, and let's call. Hey Jim, this is Chandler with selfpublishing.com. We were just texting back and forth. How are you? It's me. It's really me. Well, yeah, what's the book about? Remind me what the book's about. Okay, well, I might be the luckiest man alive because first person didn't answer, called him twice. Second person answered. Incredible prospect, great book about his consulting business. Just set him for an appointment, so I'm leaving the notes here for the sales rep, and then we're gonna go ring the bell. I'm already noticing some things, workflow-wise, systems-wise, that can be way better. Sure, we're achieving the mission, we're helping get appointments on the board and future lives to be changed with our book, but even more importantly, we're going to be able to improve the process. So the workflows, how, all the little things. We'll get to that later. But first, set an appointment. You got to go ring the bell. Let's go. Let's go. The number one burning question that I'm going to be workshopping with my team, and I think that you should be workshopping with your team, is how do we level up our lead quality and process so that the sales team connects with as many qualified prospects as possible, right? So when you think about this in your sales organization, some people, this is their standalone metric. It's talk time, right? So not number of dials, not number of connections, anything like that, which that just kind of makes me think, hey, maybe that's a metric that we should start tracking, which is how much of their day is our team spending on the phone with actual prospects, right? So that's the first question is, hey, let's take a look at that metric, and I think you should be looking at that metric in your business. But then how do we increase that number as much as possible through better leads and through better process? So that is kind of like the burning question that I'm going to be workshopping a lot with my team. I would recommend you do the same in your business. Are you the one doing the calls? Well, think about that. Hey, how do I spend as much time in front of qualified prospects as possible? And then what are the shortcuts to that? Obviously, a book is a shortcut to that. I remember when I was in direct sales, door-to-door sales, I thought, I'm knocking on doors one door at a time, right? What if instead I got in the newspaper? Because I'd walk by all these mailboxes. It's like, man, what if I just got in the newspaper? Then 30,000 people would see about my business. Well, now I just need to sell one person. That's the editor at the newspaper, right? So it's kind of looking for leverage, which we talk about this all the time. And I think within this, a book is that leverage. So how do we get more people to consume our video content, to consume our book, that sort of thing, so that when we text them, when we call them, they know who we are, they're picking up, and they're excited to talk to us. All right, we're officially 2 hours into the Call-A-thon. We've got the live dashboard here as we speak. I've got 24 dials. I've got 3 connections, 1 appointment set tomorrow with an aspiring author. A few things I'm noticing right off the bat. When you're thinking about designing this process for your sales team, you want to think about who are your call lists, so who are your people actually talking to first. So first off, obviously, do you have any leads? Well, you need to write a book, use that book to get more qualified leads. That improves the sales process. And so this is kind of the bedrock of everything that we do in the sales process is we're calling people who have given us their information. So first and foremost, do you have things of value that you're giving away so that on the way in, you're adding value first? Then when we pick up, there's our conversation structure and we're talking to them about, hey, sounds like you're working on a book. We've got information on them, right? So do you have leads? But then secondly, you're only as good as your call list, right? So a lot of sales teams, they'll have a setter closer kind of setup. So you've got your setter, that's what I'm doing today, SDR, sales development rep. So I'm doing outbound calls to an inbound call list. So I've got 200 something more leads here that I'm gonna call through, as many of them I can as, over the next couple hours. And so how good are your leads? So for what we've done here is we have what we call a lead hotness score. So we've scored leads based on the things that they're doing with us. So I'm calling down an order of lead hotness, right? So that's one thing that we do to make sure we're having qualified conversations with as many people as possible. We also send a bulk text beforehand. Hey, sounds like you're working on a book, and I'm working through the response list from people who reply back, right? So kind of one of our mantras is engage with people who are engaging. So how good is your list? This is something for you to think about as you build this out with your sales team. How good is your list? Are you doing anything to qualify those leads? Hopefully they're inbound leads. You're adding value through the process, maybe through your book as well. But then once you've got your leads list, how good is your conversation structure? Because there's a bunch of stuff like this. I mean, this is why we have dashboards everywhere. We know that the numbers, the maths, right? So there's the inputs of, are people doing enough dials, texts, connections? That's really like kind of the key number. So how many people am I talking with every day? Now, whether you've got inbound leads or not, that is a metric that you can use in your business. How many people am I talking to every single day, right? And then you can work in your marketing to make the quality go up. That's why we've got me and our head of marketing on the phones, is because we want to get in the trenches and say, hey, what are we hearing? How do we use that to make our marketing better? But then also, you need a good conversation structure. So I'm testing this out. I think there's probably some improvements that we can make, but it's been pretty good so far. And even just having this laminated in front of me, it's one less thing to look at, to think about, have a tab up or whatever. So I've got a call list, I've got a dialer, we're making calls, we're using the structure, and we're learning a lot. The second big takeaway is that the team can feel the energy, okay? If you were out on that sales floor with me today, you would feel the energy. When the boss is in the trenches with the troops, do you think they perform better or worse? Do you think the energy's higher or lower, right? They brought it. And so when you look at the scoreboard for today, I mean, we did more appointments in that 3-hour block than we did the entire day thus far, and honestly, probably the entire day yesterday, because they feel the energy, they feed off of it. So the team can feed off the energy, and the energy is so contagious. I even got a buddy, Austin Netsley of 2X, shout out, who came in the office. I told him we're doing this call-a-thon, and he is doing outreach, right? So, I mean, I told him, hey, don't come in here unless you wanna make the cash register ring, and unless you wanna make some more money today, and he's doing it. So it's just like one of those examples of it is contagious with you, with your team, with your peers, with other business owners. So maybe a thing to think about is, hey, how do we get people in a room for these sprints, right? It's a sales sprint, it's a make the cash register ring type sprint. But this was a really fun example of that, both with our team and with people who aren't even on the team. So I think the lesson there for entrepreneurs is get in the trenches with your troops. right? And you have the opportunity to galvanize people by just getting in there. What did this take for me? 4 hours of my day, 3 hours of my day, right? And that might have been the most valuable 3 hours that I spent all week, right? We call it labor efficiency rate, the highest LER, highest revenue generating activity that I did all week, right? Was both the calls that I made, but more importantly than the calls that I made, it's the impact that it made on the team. So that's the second big lessons I encourage you to think about in your business is where is that in your business where you can get in the trenches with the troops, drive energy and drive change. All right, update. We just did a little energy reset, bunch of push-ups. We're seeing if I might have to dip out to go get on a flight here in just a second, but we're switching up our strategy. So I've got maybe 50 or so dials. I've connected with about 4 people and set one. So typically what we'd be looking for for us is about a 20% connection rate. So if I call 50 people, I should talk to about 10. So my connection rate's low. So that might tell me either the list is low quality or that might tell me that I need to change my strategy. So I need to do text and then calls. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Push-ups. So I might need to change my strategy. But what I'm testing is if you look here, we're actually looking at a power dialer where you can just lock in and do a lot more calls. So my connection rate is going to go down, but the theory being I'm going to call a lot more people, therefore I will connect with a lot more people. So I'm going to give this a go for the next 20, 30 minutes. See if I can get on the phone with more people.
Come on, man. So be setting this from the top. You're only at 80 connects. That's it. I mean, that's our dials. Like out of everybody right here, I thought you'd be leading the charge right here. Shannon is kicking your butt, man. And then I'm even like part-time in this. I'm like jumping around. I'm still kicking your butt, man. I mean, like we got 80.
I will do better.
Right here. 81,
I will do better.
81. Tyler, at least Tyler is down here at 24.
Sir,
but
yes, sir.
Connor's brand new, man. Brand new, and he's 164.
I'm the biggest loser.
Yeah. But
I'm tied. Where's Tyler? Where's
right
Tyler
here?
at?
You see this?
I'm tied with Tyler for the biggest loser.
Tyler apparently failed. Michael Sarin set a company record today for how many people that he's connected with.
I didn't even know that.
25 people right here.
Company record.
That's a
company record.
And then Shannon
Holy
is actually
cow.
right at the cusp of the previous company record. But I want to see you in this next hour.
All right.
I want to see you get it up there. All right?
I got you.
All right.
Sir,
all right,
yes,
there we
sir.
go.
Third big lesson here is it's harder than you think. I know as a business owner, it's easy to point fingers and say, oh, these people are being lazy or my sales team sucks or whatever. I've found, and this is just a lesson I got to keep relearning over and over again, is you get a whole new perspective when you walk a mile in someone's shoes, right? And so there's 2 applicable things you can do with this. One, I would walk a mile in the different shoes of the people in your company. If you haven't done that in a while, highly recommend it. But then secondly, I think it's important that we cross-train inside our organizations, right? So when we hire sales reps, we have them start as SDRs because then they walk a mile in the shoes of the people who are feeding them appointments, right? And then you think they have more empathy for that person? Do you think that they know what it's like, right? So instead of snapping when someone sets them a bad appointment, they know what it's like to be in the shoes of that. So they've got empathy, they've got grace, but they've got understanding of what it looks like. And so for me, great reminder, hey, it takes mental stamina when you're doing a lot of calls. You're not talking to people, not talking to people, not talking to people. Oh, someone answered, I gotta be on, right? So how do you manage that? It just got me kind of thinking about that of, okay, A, it's harder than I think, like I need to build these people up even more and celebrate the small wins, but you also understand what their day looks like and how there might be things we can do from an organizational level or from a marketing level to get them better opportunities, to get them better appointments, to get them better leads, all that stuff. And then number 4, I got a bunch of ideas for how we can level up the process. So from call lists to text stack to auto dialer, power dialer, we've already got some of that stuff in the works. My brain's just kind of humming. And now I've got better instincts, right? Which I think goes to my previous lesson is your instincts are sound when you've done the job. And so I'm a big fan of with the managers in your company, I don't let people lead in a role who haven't done that role. It's stupid, right? I dropped out of school because I got tired of learning how to run a business from professors who have never ran a business. Why would I put managers or leaders in my company who haven't done the thing that they're managing or leading. And preferably for most of my leaders, I think this is a controversial take, I want them to be player coaches, right? Which means they're doing the thing and coaching the thing. Because I find when you just get too much in a vacuum, you start making really dumb decisions. So this gave me the perspective that I need to now go with my leadership team and say, hey, how do we level up a bunch of this stuff? And I've already got a list of improvements that we can make things better and that we can level up the process for the team. All right, so we've officially wrapped up the Dial-A-thon. We've got some biggest winners and we've got some biggest losers. All right, so the competition was, if you remember, $100 to the most connections, $50 to the most dials, and then swag credit to both in the same amount. We've got an absolutely unbelievable amount of activity. I think we broke a bunch of records. Our first winner for the most connections, this is actually a company record. We set a company record today, y'all. And this is Mr. Michael Sarin. Get up here, get up here. Most connections, 19 during the call block, 19 during the 3-hour call block, and you get $100 credit to the swag store. So we'll get you hooked up with that. Congratulations, nice work. Second winner, most dials. This was during the call block, most dials was Shannon. $160 during the call block.
And 160 during the 4 hours.
There you go. $50, $50 swag credit, great work. Honorable mention, this is the one that counts the most, but we just didn't want to incentivize bad sets. So the real winner here, Mr. Steven.
Come on up, Mr. Winner. You gotta put it like, come on.
Tied with Mike. And I am officially the biggest loser. I had the least amount of connections and I had one set. We'll see if that, I feel pretty good about that one. Set it with Nate. So that's always a good thing. But yeah, I'm the biggest loser. Shout out to the team. Bunch of lessons learned today. Let's get Steven with the kiosk jersey here.
The Ducks. Why is it the Ducks? Because it's the most amount of qualified.
Most sets today.
Good work. Good work. Honestly, a few big takeaways from today. I mean, this just goes for the video, but also just for everyone, is like we reframe what's possible. All right, this is nuts. There's nothing different from today from any day except me being on the sales floor. So like I'm looking to you guys to bring this energy, and it's fun. I mean, we've got more people here than we've ever had. And so now it's like, how do we bring that energy and feed off of this energy together? And I think even implementing some dial blocks, like how do we integrate stuff like this where it's like, all right, let's do a dial block as a sales floor for 45 minutes. And then maybe we got a 10-minute break or something, where I know we've been wanting to do dance breaks or push-up breaks or whatever, but just like, how do we integrate this? Because I mean, this is proof of what's possible, right? I mean, it's pretty incredible. So honestly, shout out to you guys. A rising tide lifts all boats. Like you look at, I mean, the number of sets we did, I think is more than all of yesterday, maybe all of yesterday and the first half of today combined, which is nuts. So, lot to learn.
And shout out to Chandler for getting in the trenches with us.
Let's go. It was fun. I had a great time. I'm sorry to rush out early. That's all I got for you today. I know this is a little bit of a different video than we normally do. This is more of a show, don't tell, right? So my goal here today was to bring you behind the scenes of what's actually working. This is the stuff that when I was building out an office, I wish someone would do this. I can't tell you how many people I reached out to and I said, hey, can you just show me the office? Can you show me how you run the team? Like, it's hard for me to do something that I haven't first visualized. So hopefully today that was helpful for you to visualize it. Maybe the lessons were helpful, maybe not. But hopefully more than that, you got to see what it actually looks like. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you want more videos like this, comment below, let us know. Let me know if you enjoyed this. If you got ideas for what we should do in the future, that's more of a show, don't tell. You can comment below and let us know that as well. As always, subscribe to this video and we'll see you in the next one.